Hey there, welcome to Unlocking Literacy in 3 minutes or less. Today's topic, how can I identify why my child is struggling with reading? Ready, set, go. We all know it's fairly straightforward to see when your child is struggling. But if you don't have a literacy degree, or even if you do, sometimes figuring out exactly what they struggle with and how to help them can be a little bit trickier. So here is a quick guide that can help you get to the root of your child's struggles. We're going to cover 2 main areas of focus. So first is decoding. Decoding means actually using the sounds in a word, plus other word attack strategies to sound out a word, right? So if your child doesn't know all their letter sounds with automaticity, or hasn't learned all of the rules for decoding yet, like that vowel consonant E makes the vowel sound long, or that Y at the ends of a word typically says I or E, right? Then decoding is going to be a struggle. And that's a natural part of learning to read. But if that foundation is not laid, then it can cause problems further down the line. So this might mean that they need help with phonemic awareness, which is the knowledge of sounds, rhymes, and other reading exercises that can be done with your eyes closed because they're all based on listening. So like listening for the beginning or ending sounds, or it might mean that they need some targeted phonics instruction, which actually looks at the letters and the sounds on paper as written symbols, and how those letters and sounds work together to build words. Okay, the second option and kind of general category that we're going to look at is if decoding is solid, but your child can't answer questions about what they read, or they're having trouble understanding what they read, then we would look at comprehension, which is basically just the ability to analyze and understand a text that you read. So maybe they don't know all of the vocabulary. Even though they can read the words, they're basically just word calling, and they're not actually catching the full meaning of what they're reading because there's too many words in the text that they don't know the meaning of, right? So maybe they're reading in a slower or a choppier manner that is interrupting their flow or their fluency to a degree that's actually hindering their comprehension. Or maybe they need to work on their critical thinking skills, which means they need help piecing clues together to come to a logical conclusion. So when you reflect on those areas, perhaps you kind of see where your child falls in them, and it can be a good starting point. So remember, no matter what your child's struggle is, we can get to the bottom of it, and they can meet with success when the right interventions are in place. So totally leave me a comment or a question if there's anything you're wondering, and I can't wait to see what inspires you and your kids this week.